Hey you guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about something that will set your expectations properly. In the industry they call it dollar in, dollar out, and let me kind of show you what they're talking about. Let's say we've talked about the front end offer that you're going to offer people. Let's say that you have a book or you have let's call it an ebook, okay? That's more likely for a lot of people. So you've got an ebook, let's say your ebook is $9.97. And then you've got an order bump. What that means is they bought the book and then you say, hey, do you want to add this on for $12.97? So you've got an order bump for $12.97 that they can purchase. And then on this page, you've got something that they can, you can upsell them to $97. And let's say the third one is something that they can get for $2.97, okay? So there are three things that we care about because, well, I'll get to that in just a second, but we want to get traffic to this, right? And so is everybody that comes to these pages, is everyone going to buy every single thing? No, not everybody's going to buy everything. There are some people who will, but not everyone. And this is why it works on Facebook, and this is why everyone's ads are completely different. Because whatever your ebook is, that's what your ad on Facebook will be, driving them to that ebook. You are not driving them to doTERRA. Facebook does not like that. And I'll tell you right now, we have had our Facebook account shut down because there were some guidelines we didn't follow. Sometimes there are things you're not even aware of. So do not put ads out for doTERRA, for your company in Facebook, which that helps the whole company anyway because people get sick of seeing the same thing over and over and over again. But you can put something out for an ebook about feeling tired and having no energy. Or you can put something out that has to do with hormones. Or you can put something out that has to do with having a business from home. That kind of thing. But it cannot be doTERRA. It can absolutely be maybe a training that you do that teaches people how to build online. And then on the back end is where you have your stuff about your network marketing company, and that's in your own sites. That's not on Facebook. So, but before we get into this, I want to make sure that you guys find success. And the best way to have success is to make sure the action items get done. And I will tell you this, I learned from one of my mentors, Steve Larson. He talks about how he read a book about motivation. And in this book, the author did a ton of research and was actually kind of disheartened by the time he was done with the book because he discovered that actually motivation wasn't really even a thing. It wasn't something that really made all that much difference. It lasts for a minute, but it's not something that really gets somebody following their dreams, taking the actions to make those dreams actually a reality. What the author found is that what mattered the most was environment. So for example, if you're trying to lose weight and you keep buying food that is not very healthy or that's fattening and you keep it around your house, you're a lot less likely to be successful. Even discipline didn't matter as much until the environment was changed. So for example, for me, I now have an area where I leave my lights set up, my camera set up because we're doing a lot of filming, we're doing a lot of trainings. That's not everybody does that. Other people don't need to do all these trainings. But whatever it is that you're going to do, make sure that you have a place that you set aside for this so that when you go into that room, that's your time to get those things done. If you're going to be working on the funnel, if you're going to be publishing for your social media or for your podcast or whatever it is that you do, make sure that you set up your environment for success. Because only after the environment is set up, then the discipline makes a huge difference. But if they don't have the environment, the discipline, even the discipline didn't make that much of a difference. So that's something that's really helpful that might help you to be successful in what you're trying to do. But there are three things that I want you to understand. There are only really three numbers. I mean, there are a lot of things you can track, and depending on how much you love to track those things, some people like to geek out over all the numbers and tracking who's buying and how many enrollments, all that stuff. Of course you're tracking how many enrollments and those things. But as far as the funnel goes, there are only three things that really matter the most, okay? And one is called average cart value, okay? That means when people come through your cart, This is like your cart. When they come through your funnel, by the time everyone comes through, what is the average amount that is being spent? Now, of course, the average amount is not all of it because not everybody's going to buy all that stuff. But let's say your average cart value is $67. That might be a little bit normal for this kind of thing. By the time some people buy this, some people buy all of it, some people only buy this one. By the time all is said and done and you've figured out the numbers, your average cart value is 67. Now, what is the other thing that you want to keep track of is your potential average cart value. Okay? Potential average cart value. Because potential, what could people potentially buy? They could actually buy all of these things. So $297, $97, $997. So what's that? 3, 4, 410. Let's just call it, let's round it to 420. Okay? So 420. So 420 is actually the possible cart value, the potential amount that someone could buy in this whole thing. So it could be 420. Your average is actually 67, but how much is your cost per acquisition, your CPA? What that means is for each person who actually buys something, then how much is it costing you to get someone in there? And if it costs you $67 to get someone in there, then your average cart value is 67, so you're breaking even. Okay, what if you're bringing people in and it's costing you $22? Then you're making money every time. But what I want you to remember, and this is the expectation I'm trying to set, this funnel is not for you to be trying to make money. Great if you make money, if you get really good at it, great. It's not that you're not trying to make money, but the expectation is all you care about is that you are going to break even. Because as soon as you break even, guess what? At the end, when you're selling them on being in your business, that's a free lead. Absolutely 100% free. So whatever you can do to create, remember this is a self-liquidating offer. That means it's just supposed to pay for itself. So what happens, let's say if for every dollar that you put in, if you put $1 in and you get $1.40 out, what a lot of people who don't really understand this, they think, oh, that's horrible. I put $1 and $1.40, that's not very much. That's awful. That's actually phenomenal. Where else can you get 40%? That is awesome. So just realize what the expectation is. This, if it does better than that, that's great. Because then on the back end, you're going to be bringing them into your business and you're going to have a certain percentage who come into your business. This is how it becomes evergreen, where it didn't cost you a cent to bring this in. That's how we are able to build this without getting venture capitalist money, without going into debt, without giving away part of our company. This is how it's done. And so that's pretty exciting. Now realize I'm getting into a little bit deeper stuff. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't worry if you don't want to do any of this stuff. You don't have to do this stuff because you literally can post this information out to the people that you know on your social media, and I'll teach you about traffic, getting traffic to it after we're done with this part, okay? So just realize that when you do this, you've generated qualified leads, qualified people who are already clicking on something. By the time someone has purchased something, they're very qualified. People they vote with their wallet, they are way more qualified than someone says verbally, oh yeah, I'm interested, or they just click a button. That's not the same thing. So if you don't want to do any of this, fine, don't do any of it. Just use the ones I've already made for you. And I hope that this has opened your eyes just a little bit so that you're starting to understand the information model just a little bit better. But I would love to have your feedback. Sometimes people start getting a little overwhelmed about this. Remember, you don't have to do this, but I would love to hear, are you excited about this? Is it overwhelming? Does it stress you out? Are you freaking out that you can't believe that you've got somebody in doTERRA helping you do this because this is what you've been waiting for? I want to know about it. So go to the Facebook group, tell me about it, and I will see you in the next video.